At a certain point in life, everyone starts seeming like they're doing something impressive and they're seeing success in one way or another. Well, on the other hand, you feel like hours are going by, days are going by, you're getting older and older and older without anything to show for it. You ultimately see zero signs on the horizon of you becoming anybody memorable at all. Yeah, I was there too. And here's how to get ahead of those people. For those of you who don't know, I wanted to be successful for a long time. But here's the thing, I was absolute dog shit at concentration, at managing my brain to do hard things, and trying to actually push myself to do the sorts of things in life that moved the needle in the direction I wanted it to move. I read literally hundreds of hours of books and hundreds of hours of podcasts trying to figure out how to become more disciplined and more motivated and how to just get myself on track, and none of it really seemed to help. I just couldn't seem to figure it out. At this point, I was convinced I must have had ADHD or something. But all that changed once I started to do the things I'm gonna share with you in this video. Now, I'm the COO of a $30 million company that got there in just 30 months. I make multi-six figures a year. I have a beautiful girlfriend, I have a physique I'm proud of, and the list goes on and on. And the best part is that all of this boiled down to a few fundamental things that I'm gonna share with you. But before I do, a little warning. When you start to create insane results in your life, you will lose friends. People like stability in their life, and you're about to create massive change. So if you're okay with that, let's get started. First is meditation. I started meditating every single day. Now, I found that just 10 minutes a day was enough for me to start getting my brain into the state it needed to be in to create a solid foundation for learning. Remember that, because this is gonna be absolutely crucial in point number 4, so stick around for that. However, despite starting with 10 minutes, I eventually got up to 1 hour every single day. Now, what I learned from going up and down between 5 minutes all the way up to an hour is that a sweet spot is definitely about 20 minutes. 20-minute sessions are perfect. It's hard to do it first and get used to, but eventually you're gonna become addicted to it. It's very strange, but it happens. As soon as you see the value and what it does to your mind and your mindset, you won't be able to stop. Now, what does meditation even do for you? What does it do? Why do it? How is this gonna get me ahead of other people in life? Well, 1, it trains your brain to focus at will. When you wanna focus, it's there. 2, it forces the brain into a state of calm, allowing you to control your neurochemistry, again, at will. And 3, it's basically The way is overstimulation, meditation calms the brain down by allowing you to focus on a single thing and getting you better and better at doing it. Basically, meditation just establishes the bedrock for your mindset. Now, next up is diet. My personal favorite is the carnivore diet. I mainly liked it because of its simplicity and the rules that I was able to set on it. And because of all that, I was able to go pretty strict for about 365 days. Actually, it was a little bit further, but yeah, about a year I was strict carnivore diet. Strict carnivore diet basically means that you're only eating animal products, but because my body isn't the best with lactose, I was only really able to eat beef and eggs. Now, before people start jumping in the comments talking about carnivore, whether they like it or dislike it, I'm just telling you what I did to get ahead. You guys can do whatever you want. But basically what I'm telling you is sticking to some sort of diet is the foundation that your body is going to need to make sure you're not just being held back from results by putting garbage in your body all the time. But with that said, let me explain the specific benefits that I saw from the carnivore diet. 1 is that it unfucks your body and your mind. By eating a diet like this, brain fog, that kind of tired, groggy feeling that you have throughout the day, and I'm not talking about the morning grogginess that comes naturally when you wake up, but I'm talking about the full daily grogginess where you can't get anything done, that begins to disappear, your inflammation begins to go down, and your body and your mind just begin to work at a higher capacity. The second benefit to the carnivore diet that I found was that it is super convenient. It alleviates decision fatigue, meaning I don't need to go to the grocery store and wonder what I'm gonna cook for dinner, what I'm gonna cook for the next week. I know what I'm getting every single time. It's super convenient, huge benefit in my opinion. The third massive benefit to the carnivore diet is that it resets your addiction to all these different foods. You're no longer obsessed with sugar or seed oils or fats that you know just are not good for you. It completely resets you, and until you felt it for yourself, you really don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so we'll move on to the next thing. Early mornings. Guys, this one is absolutely massive. You've heard it said before, you win the morning, you win the day. I actually believe this so much that I extended my mornings to ungodly hours. Ungodly hours. For example, lately I've been getting up somewhere between 2:45 a.m. and 3:15 a.m. And I don't necessarily recommend this for everybody, but for me specifically, it's really been a game changer that's allowed me to pass a lot of my competition. Now, you probably don't need me to tell you, but I'll tell you anyway. Here are the benefits of really early mornings. The first thing is you're gonna have fewer distractions. There's less of your phone going off. There's less notifications coming in. You have fewer distractions. You can get to what you need to do. The second benefit is actually that you're a little bit groggy in the morning, which might seem like a strange thing to say as a benefit, but if you watch this video right here, you'll understand exactly how to use it to your advantage. And the third massive benefit to super early mornings is it gets you started and calibrates the day properly. And what I'm saying by this is you start the day with several wins, meaning that you can go and enjoy the rest of your day knowing that you just killed the main things you had to do before any of your competition, any of your friends, any of your enemies, anybody was even awake. Now that your mind has a solid foundation for learning and being open to things with meditation, your body's not being weighed down by complete garbage that you're constantly putting in it, and you've created a specific time slot to do really important things, which is the early morning. Now let's talk about how you should actually learn. Immersive environments. This one is probably the one I wish the most that someone had told me about earlier. If you're gonna try and learn something that's really, really important to you and your mission and your purpose, like how to start a business, how to put on muscle, how to enter a flow state, and you're trying to do any one of these things by reading 30 minutes a day, look, I'm gonna put this to you nicely. You're wasting your fucking time. I began to use the immersive environment for anything that I wanted to learn. For example, when I started learning this new language that I was really interested in, I would only listen to podcasts in this language. I would only watch TV shows in this language. I filled my bookshelf with books from this language. I even bought a literal old school iPod, one of those tiny little retro iPods that I would just put tons of podcasts and discussions and debates in this language so I could plug in no matter what I was doing, and I could constantly have it going into my ears, and I would be listening for hours a day, not just reading for 30 minutes trying to learn something. Now, what do immersive environments actually do for you? What are the benefits? Well, the first one is you're basically just learning on autopilot, which is fantastic. You're learning on autopilot because the brain cannot help but learn. All it knows how to do is learn new things. That's what it's designed to do. Which leads to the secondary benefit, which is basically that you can turn any time into productive time. If you're driving home and you have your iPod, awesome. If you're going for a walk and you have your iPod, awesome. You're doing the dishes, you have your iPod, awesome. Now, of course, I'm not saying go necessarily buy an iPod if that's not for you. I just did it because I don't like constantly being connected to my phone all hours of the day. So I did that so I can be fully off grid, but being productive at the same time. Now, the final thing that in my opinion will get you ahead of 99% of people, guys, is of course, fitness. When I decided to really turn my life around and know that I wanted to get ahead of the people in my life, working out was already something that I was doing regularly, but at this point I was trying to turn myself into something that I was actually proud of. So I would use fitness as a discipline anchor. I'd make sure that regularly, several times, 5-6 times a week, I would do this because it's such a classic way of keeping accountability. It's such a classic way of keeping accountability. The benefits are pretty obvious. Helps you look good, helps you feel good, helps you get healthier, creates that discipline like I mentioned, that's a huge one. And you can hit point 3, 4, and 5 all together, meaning that in the early mornings, you're immersing with your iPod, listening to something, learning something about finance, about business, about whatever it is, and then you're also working out while you're doing all of that. The productivity trifecta. Okay, so I've mentioned 5 crucial things that'll get you ahead of 99% of people in this video, but I'm gonna go over them again so that you understand the exact benefit of each one and how they relate to each other. First one was, of course, meditation. This is gonna help you with your mental resilience and create the mindset required for you to build every single other habit on top of this. The second one was a clean diet. In my case, I chose carnivore. I do recommend it, but if it's not for you, that's fair. But a clean diet in general will ensure that you're not putting garbage in your body that's sabotaging your other efforts. And it's also gonna promote solid energy if you choose your diet correctly. The third thing was extreme early mornings, or getting up as early as you possibly can, because this creates intentional time for you to take action on the things that you actually want to build in your life. The fourth thing is immersive environments, which force you to learn insanely quickly because it's the most conducive way that the brain was designed to learn. And 5 was fitness, because fitness obviously reinforces that disciplined demeanor that you need to have. Also, in time, when you start seeing the results, acts as a physical manifestation of the new person that you've decided to be. Guys, before I was where I am today, I would have considered myself a loser. But the additional issue was that I was a competitive loser. This meant that as people moved up in their lives, and I didn't, my frustration would grow and grow and grow. But after I implemented the things that I shared with you in this video, I had a pivotal change. Now I either have or I'm well on my way to having everything I want in this life. Now, I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news is that if you too are like I was, and you're like that now, you're also a loser. But the good news is that it doesn't have to be that way much longer. The things that I talked about on this list were not necessarily all introduced at one time. It took some time to really build it out and really create that routine. But once all these things were up and running in my life, I started to look the part. I started to know what I was talking about. I had a cool, calm, and confident demeanor. And the best part is I had a system for continuing to improve performance at a high level. So when I created my own opportunity for doing what I am today, I was the obvious best candidate for the job. And the CEO has told me that several times himself. And this all came from doing the things that I'm telling you in this video, regardless of what it is you want to do. So if you're in a similar spot to where I used to be, then I want to congratulate you on getting this far into the video. You've officially just taken the first step towards becoming the man that you want to become. As a thank you for getting this far, I'm going to give you one final reminder. It's that if you knew just how close you were to being the guy that you want to be, you would sprint. It's only a few months until you leave everybody that you know in the dust. And now listen, if you want results even faster than what I've talked about in this video, and you want more tools to propel you even faster, even further, then watch the video I'm gonna recommend to you that's gonna pop up on your screen in about 10 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become, and I'll see you in the next video.